Hello everybody, Bad Weather Freak here with another video regarding the 2020 hurricane season. And on the latest news, we have NOAA, which came out with their first forecast for this season. And as expected, due to the conditions that we are seeing in the Atlantic, the unusual sea surface temperatures, just overall, they came out with the higher than normal forecast. As you guys can see here, 60% chance of an above normal season, 30% of near normal. Now near normal could be the average or slightly higher than that. So it's a pretty good percentage also, and only a 10% below normal season. So this is actually interesting, but again, it was as expected that we were gonna see a busier than usual hurricane season. Now they are calling for 13 to 19 named storms. The average is around 12, so definitely higher than that. 6 to 10 hurricanes, and we have 3 to 6 major hurricanes. So this is very interesting. So we are potentially going to see multiple category 3 or higher. I wouldn't be surprised if we see at least a couple category 5s. And this is something that is becoming more and more I don't want to say popular, but more of the norm to see category 5s forming. Usually before decades ago, you used to see maybe one every decade or every 5 years. Now it's just something that is becoming more and more popular since, or not popular again because it sounds like a bad term, but more normal to see in the past few years. Sometimes even a couple category 5 hurricanes in a season. So this is basically higher numbers as expected. Everybody else have been calling for an above average season, and so far we are seeing conditions that are pointing that direction. And that's actually something that we need to start preparing now, and especially this year, because we haven't had a pandemic at the same time or in a long time at the same time as a hurricane season. So this is something that we need to take in consideration, since we know that that supplies are running low. As far as like food, it's running low. Things that you use on every day, like toilet paper, of course, and everything else, we are starting to see that the levels are heavily or very, very low. And then on top of that, if you throw a bad hurricane season, it's just gonna make everything worse. Now let's take a look at tropical tidbits. See what we have going on. So let's take a look there. Of course, there's no storm. This is basically what is left of Arthur. Pretty much nothing. So let's go back and see the forecast. See if anything is popping up or any of the forecast models are picking anything up. For the GFS, let's take a look at the GFS. GFS was actually picking something up coming, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, kind of coming through Cuba, and kind of like a similar way as of Arthur. I don't know if it doesn't seem like it's picking anything up anymore. So that's actually good news. Now let's check the European model. Do the same thing. European model also. I'm showing something up here. No, this is actually Arthur. That's Arthur, because this thing runs a few days behind, actually. Starts a few days behind and then moves into the future, like a week to 10 days out, sometimes more. So that's, again, nothing forming. Check the Canadian model, which are the main 3 models that I personally like to see. See here, you see Arthur kind of fading away. Nothing else really forming, which is good news. Is definitely good news. Let's check the Pacific and the Atlantic. See if there's any showers. So you can see kind of like a little bit of a flare up down here to the Yucatan Peninsula, like further down actually from the Yucatan Peninsula, like in Central America. So it's flaring up. I don't know if anything is actually going to form out of it, but it's always a good idea to keep an eye out. Now let's check a wider view of the Atlantic. Same thing, the same flare up. And a little flare up here in the coast of Africa, but nothing really happening. Now let's take a look at the water vapor. See a lot of moisture, some patches of dry air, but nothing major. The majority of it is actually more moist, which is not good, because that will fuel the storms and make the storms form. Now let me take a look and see if I can find, well, let's take a look at the sea surface temperatures. And again, plenty of fuel for the storms to form. So that's actually a good portion of the MDR has cooled down, as you can see here. The bottom part of the major developing region is warm enough in the Atlantic. I mean, this part of the Atlantic and the Caribbean, of course, the Gulf of Mexico. That is actually very, definitely supports activity. Now let's take a look at the anomaly. Yeah, let's take a look at this one. Again, plenty of warmth, but a little cooling down here in this section. La Nina definitely showing up. You see much more cooler here. And as like weeks have been passing by, especially the last couple of weeks, we have been noticing a little more cooling on the Pacific, which is showing signs of La Nina developing. But also cool down a little bit here as we get closer and closer or deeper into summer. Because I mean, we're almost in June. We should see definitely this warming up even more. Now the 3.4 Nino, the CDAS. This is actually very interesting. This is like a gauge of as far as the the Pacific. This is the CDAS. Nino 3.4 is the main area that we look for, where the majority of the storms form in the Pacific. I'll go back and show you guys where. But this is interesting. El Nino, if it was a hurricane season with El Nino, you'll be looking the numbers up here. And that's how it was. Earlier in the year, we went on an El Nino stage. A weak El Nino, nothing crazy, but it was on an El Nino stage. As it started the Pacific cooling down, you see how they, around late April, it started just plummeting, and it just keeps going down and down. Now we're in La Nina territory here. The deeper it goes down, that means the stronger La Nina is. And right now we're almost, I mean, it looks like it's stabilizing a little bit, but that could keep dropping after May 21st. So we are in La Nina territory already. Usually around half a degree Celsius, negative half a degree Celsius. That's La Nina territory for sure. And we are pretty much there. Now, is it going to keep dropping? That's one thing that we don't know, but it's a possibility, and it seems like that might be the case. Now, the El Nino 3.4 area is basically this area here, where the majority of the storms form. So right here. And that's basically, as you see, showing blue. Again, the blue doesn't mean that it's freezing cold water. It's under the average. That's basically what it means. It's not that it's 20 degrees or anything like that. But anyways, that's what I have for you guys. A little quick update on the 2020 hurricane season changes. And the main thing is, of course, the NOAA coming out with their 2020 hurricane season outlook and prediction with above average, of course, as expected. Please sign up to my channel, subscribe, like my videos, share them if you want to with your friends. And that's all I have for you guys. Take care, have a good day, and start preparing. Take care. Bye.